Goshimanito, Goshimanito, Goshimanito. Creator, we come before you humbly. We ask that you know what's in our hearts and minds. May you touch each and every person in this room today. May you be with us in heart, spirit, and soul. I'm grateful for the things you provide, the 4 directions, and the many things and the many blessings of today. I ask these things in your name, the name. Amen.
So my real dad wasn't around. He was kind of in and out of prison and stuff, so just like he wasn't really in my life a whole lot. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm trying to be there more, I think, for these ones. Right on cue, huh? No?
Well, let me start off. I had a mother and a father growing up, a 2-parent home. And for me, I always knew that I was a rarity among my friends. All my friends who were male didn't have a father. A lot of my friends looked up to my father as a father figure, and so that made me feel good, and it made me feel lucky to have a father.
There was an opportunity over 5 years ago, and it was basically the result of community input and surveys, and the idea or concept of working with men or dads with respect to fatherhood, seeing that most of the programs funded for families were for moms, and there was very few programming opportunities for men. So there was some research done and information gathered that pointed to the need for working with particularly our focus group, American Indian men, to give them information and concepts on how to, number one, be a better dad, but we looked at it a little bit deeper. How can they look at things that really affect how they make choices? How do you become more involved with your family? How can you help yourself with respect to the choices that you make, but include and frame it around American Indian values and beliefs and historical and traditional culture. So.
Here's my grandma, and this one when she was a baby.
My name's Andrew Whipple. I'm Dakota. My aunt recommended the program to me. I have a 15-year-old girl and an 8-year-old girl. I went to their whole program. I don't think I missed a class. It's actually my wife went too with me, so she's not native, so it's good for her to kind of understand like a little bit about it too. But
and I do know that him and the girls do have a better relationship. He does engage them more than he did before. They would always come to him, but now he goes to them.
Who's better at Halo?
Me.
Okay.
Who's better at Fortnite?
Me.
just talking to like other people about fathering, you learn some new things, and like some of them, you know, you might know before, but it's good to hear them again too.
Basically, we're not really teaching anything new in a sense. We give them new information, some things to think about. But our role is to bring out what they know, what they already know.
I was born and raised here in Denver, Colorado. I am a Northern Arapaho, Sac and Fox, and Yuchi Native American. I also was earlier in my life exposed to clinical research, and even in that field, they told me how scarce Native American data was. I found out about this program through the community. They said that the Indian Center needed Indian fathers or Indian caretakers in that role, so I came here. I came to the program knowing, you know, that this data is crucial and needed, and also it was good information.
It's a very unique class, very rich with different backgrounds and personalities. You have circumstances and issues that take place on reservations, a rural area, and you also have the conditions and situations and environment of the urban area. Our manners, our personality, our behavior, that all comes from somewhere. what we experienced growing up from those that were our caretakers, our parents, those that looked after us, the community we lived in, the environment we were in, exposed to. All of those factors shape who we are and the choices we made to this point in time, especially around being a parent or a dad.
So, this is my oldest being baptized. It was a mass baptismal, so like 6 kids got baptized that day.
Okay.
My grandma wanted to make sure I was one of her dying wishes to see all her grandkids being baptized.
With Andrew, he's very insightful about things. He's very interested in things, not only individually and his family, but also the world and environment. He is very representative of the dad that is out there that maybe didn't have a whole lot of role modeling or examples growing up, and he's had to develop those almost on his own from trial and error to a degree. He's very open to understand himself and how he can continue making discerning and choices that will be best for those around him.
My oldest was a baby. I got this, and I've kind of been hanging on to it, but I kind of like what they say.
I think the most important thing I learned from that program was Rick Waters, when he said happiness reflects. So like if I'm in a bad mood, it might put my kids in a bad mood too. So happiness is contagious, I guess. That still sticks with me though, that happiness reflects. So I try to be a little more happy now and a little more patient.
If you're with your children, if you're with your partner and you communicate and there's laughter, obviously you have to deal with situations, circumstances, but the more, if you want to call it happiness, the more upbeat, positive things that you can express through your behavior, how you deal with conflict in front of your children is often a very good way of helping them grow up healthier and confident.
People are going to fight in any relationship, and we just tell the parents and the participants in our program, let the kids see the resolution, that there is a solution to this problem, and it's not always conflict, and that there is, a light at the end of the tunnel,
Time, he says time is how you spell love. Just this past a couple weeks ago, we went to the Denver March Powwow together. And it's kind of nice. We're all kind of like holding down the seats, trying to wait for other people to show up or whatever. So we do that. We go to powwow together. My youngest daughter, sometimes I like to take her and just like spend a day with her somewhere, like at the museum or something. And we went to the aquarium. And I told her, I just kind of want to hang out with you today, but she wanted to bring her little friend. I was like, all right. So we all went to the Denver aquarium together.
Traditionally, Native American Indian families were more of the extended family. Obviously, if you lived in the community, in the reservation, you had aunts and uncles, grandmas, grandpas, all there around to help. It takes a village to raise a child. It took a family to raise a child. But in terms of family, it's all for one, one for all in a sense, and it's simple. When you look at our course and our class and the philosophy of it from an American Indian point of view, and we talk about integrating those thoughts and value and belief systems into the curriculum that's often put together, developed by non-Indians. We want to incorporate who we were, how we lived, because it worked, but also apply and adapt it to the contemporary environment.
As traditionally, we kind of talk about our traditional roles too sometimes, and just like how the community had to come together to make sure the whole tribe functioned right. We see my grandma had friends from the communities. Some of them still are close to our family, and they're almost considered family themselves. I'm teaching them. I learned a little bit of our language from my grandmother, so I'm trying to pass on a little bit of what I know. It's difficult trying to pass on a language that no one around you really uses, so.
To hear the participants, especially after we've gone through a group, they come back individually and as a group and say they wish they could keep going. Wish they could have additional classes, and what can we do next, or what's next. We have a philosophy on most of our topics around what we call the circle of life, or the medicine wheel, which is those areas of harmony or balance in our life, which include the mental aspect, the physical aspect, emotional aspect, and spiritual aspect of living. When you keep those in mind, it helps you keep in balance. And if you're in balance, it just helps you go forward. So.